James Comey, desperate for attention, tried to insert himself in the nation's debate over the Mueller report and embarrassed himself. And that is not me saying it, that is CNN's of all places who mocked him on air over his New York Times op-ed where he trashed Trump, Barr, and Rosenstein. Comey wrote, "How could Mr. Barr, a bright and accomplished lawyer, start channeling the president and using words like no collusion and FBI spying? And downplaying acts of obstruction of justice as products of the president's being frustrated and angry, something he would never say to justify the thousands of crimes prosecuted every day that are the product of frustration and anger? How could he write and say things about the report by Robert Mueller, the special counsel, that were apparently so misleading that they prompted written protest from the special counsel himself? How could Mr. Barr go before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday and downplay President Trump's attempt to fire Mr. Mueller before he completed his work? And how could Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, after the release of Mr. Mueller's report that detailed Mr. Trump's determined efforts to obstruct justice, give a speech quoting the president on the importance of the rule of law? Or on resigning, thank a president who relentlessly attacked both him and the Department of Justice he led for the courtesy and humor you often display in our personal conversations? What happened to these people? I don't know for sure. People are complicated, so the answer is most likely complicated. But I have some idea from 4 months of working close to Mr. Trump and many more months of watching him shape others. Amoral leaders have a way of revealing the character of those around them. Sometimes what they reveal is inspiring. For example, James Mattis, the former Secretary of Defense, resigned over principle, a concept so alien to Mr. Trump that it took days for the president to realize what had happened, before he could start lying about the man. But more often, proximity to an amoral leader reveals something depressing. I think that's at least part of what we've seen with Bill Barr and Rod Rosenstein. Accomplished people lacking inner strength can't resist the compromises necessary to survive Mr. Trump, and that adds up to something they will never recover from. It takes character like Mr. Mattis's to avoid the damage, because Mr. Trump eats your soul in small bites. It starts with your sitting silent while he lies, both in public and private, making you complicit by your silence. In meetings with him, his assertions about what everyone thinks and what is obviously true wash over you, unchallenged, as they did at our private dinner on January 27, 2017, because he's the president and he rarely stops talking. As a result, Mr. Trump pulls all of those present into a silent circle of assent, Comey added. Enter CNN. CNN's Gloria Barger on James Comey's op-ed. I don't know why James Comey feels the need to weigh in at every moment. pic.twitter.com/37950j. Ryan Saavedra, @RealSaavedra, May 1, 2019. Let's block ads. Why?